Introduction to the unit circle. The first thing is the unit circle is a circle with a radius of 1 unit. So if we look at this radius here and this radius here, they are the same number. They are radius of 1. And then there's some point x and y. The x represents the cosine of that angle theta, and y represents the sine of that theta. And this theta is your angle measure. How you can go further is using the Pythagorean Theorem, a squared plus b squared equals c squared, or x squared plus y squared equals 1. Later on, we're going to have you drop a right triangle. So this would be your y value, and this would be your x value, and then this would be your r value, and then you have that right angle. To find the 6 trig functions, the sine of theta is your y from the unit circle. Your cosine of theta is your x, and then your tangent of theta is y over x. To find the cosecant, secant, and cotangent, you just reciprocate. So to reciprocate cosecant, it's going to be 1 over y. For secant, it's 1 over the reciprocal of the cosine, so it's 1 over x. And then the cotangent is reciprocal of the tangent, x over y. There's a great website I recommend you check out right here on the unit circle and where it came from, some more information. What we're going to do is determine the exact values of these 6 trig functions. So we have some point right here. Here is our x value. So that represents our cosine, so 12/13. We have a y value identified, so that's your sine, which is -5/13. And then you have this radius. Remember that radius is 1. And then this theta can either wrap around this way, if it's a positive theta, or it could go in a negative direction. It doesn't matter which way. So what we want to do is find the other 4 trig functions. So I'm going to just worry about the inverses for these two. So the inverse of cosecant is the inverse of the sine, so it's 13 with a negative over 5. The secant is the inverse of cosine, which is 13 over 12. All right. To find the tangent and the cotangent, we can't just look at x and y. To find the tangent of any angle in the unit circle, we're going to take the sine and divide it by the cosine, or y divided by x. Make sure you have that written down, very important. And then the cotangent is a reciprocal of that. So let's come over here and find that. So we want to take the sine over the cosine. So we're taking -5 over 13, and we're dividing it by 12 over 13. If you remember taking a fraction divided by a fraction, you want to keep the first fraction, change it to multiplication, and then reciprocate the second fraction. So now we're going to multiply across. The 13s will cancel. When you multiply across, you get -5 12ths. So there is your tangent, -5 12ths. To find the cotangent, just flip the tangent, inverse the tangent. So now it's -12 fifths. This video you can watch and see how this teacher creates their unit circle and how to remember it. I'm going to teach you how to do that in class. This is the unit circle with all the important pieces in it. It looks a little bit overwhelming right now. I will walk you through it in class of how I remember how to do this and where it comes from. What you'll be getting is something that's blank, looking like this on a quiz, and you need to fill in all the pieces. The angles in degrees, the angles in radians, and those points. Again, this is going to be what we call the unit circle quiz. It'll be blank, you fill it in. We'll give you some steps in class to how to remember that.